We're diving into a powerful and transformative concept that can change your life dramatically. Imagine this. You always get what you visualize using only 2 words. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? This simple yet profound technique has the potential to completely reshape your reality, and it's based on the core principles of what I teach about the power of the mind and the quantum field. Let's start by understanding that our thoughts and feelings are not just abstract concepts. They are tangible energies that shape our reality. According to the quantum model of reality, everything you experience is a reflection of your inner state. What does this mean? It means that your thoughts and feelings create a vibration, a frequency that interacts with the quantum field. When you align your energy with the outcome you desire, you become a magnet for that outcome. This is where the 2 words come in. When we talk about visualization, we often get caught up in complex techniques and long meditations. But what if I told you that the essence of manifestation could be distilled into just 2 simple words? These 2 words are not magic spells, but rather a powerful focus of your intention. The secret lies in understanding how to use these words effectively to rewire your brain and align your energy with your goals. Let's start by diving into what visualization really means. Visualization goes beyond just daydreaming about your goals or aspirations. It's a powerful tool that involves creating a detailed and vivid mental picture of what you want to achieve. But it's not enough just to see the image in your mind. You need to bring it to life with strong emotions, as if your dream has already come true. Think of visualization as tuning a radio. Imagine you're trying to listen to your favorite music station. To hear it clearly, you need to adjust the radio dial until you find the right frequency. If you're on the wrong station, the music will be fuzzy or non-existent. Similarly, when you visualize, you're tuning your brain to a specific frequency that matches your desired outcome. If your mind is not aligned with the frequency of your goal, it's like being on the wrong radio station. You won't achieve your dream. Here's how it works. When you visualize, you start by creating a clear and detailed mental image of what you want. Let's say you want to succeed in a new job. Close your eyes and picture yourself in that job. See yourself working confidently, interacting with colleagues, and achieving your goals. Imagine the environment, the people, and even the sensations you would experience. The more vivid and detailed this image, the more effective your visualization will be. But there's an important step beyond just seeing this image in your mind. You need to infuse it with powerful emotions. Feel as though you've already achieved your goal. In the case of the job, feel the excitement, satisfaction, and pride of succeeding. Imagine how happy and fulfilled you would be. This emotional charge is crucial because it helps to align your mind with the frequency of your desired reality. Our emotions play a significant role in this process. They act like a magnet, drawing your desired outcome closer to you. When you feel strong, positive emotions about your goal, you are sending out a powerful signal to the universe. This signal helps to attract opportunities, people, and circumstances that match the frequency of your goal. So it's not just about seeing the image, but also about feeling the emotions that come with achieving it. Let's break it down further. Imagine you're training for a marathon. Visualization for this goal would involve picturing yourself running effortlessly across the finish line. But don't stop there. Feel the exhilaration, the sense of accomplishment, and the pride of completing the race. By creating this mental image and pairing it with strong emotions, you're tuning your brain to the frequency of success in the marathon. Your mind starts to align with this goal, making it more likely that you will take the actions needed to achieve it. It's also important to practice visualization regularly. Just like tuning a radio needs fine adjustments, your mind needs consistent practice to stay aligned with your goals. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing your desired outcome. Make it a routine, and each time focus on making the mental image more vivid and the emotions more intense. This regular practice helps to reinforce the connection between your mind and your goal. The two words I'm talking about are I am. These words may seem simple, but they hold a lot of power. They are incredibly significant because they help shape who you are and what you become. When you use I am, you're making a strong statement about yourself and your reality. Let's explore why these two words are so impactful and how they can influence your life. When you say I am, you're making a declaration. It's not just about stating something. It's about claiming ownership of a specific quality or reality. For example, if you say I am confident, you're declaring that confidence is a part of who you are. You're not just hoping to be confident, you're identifying yourself as someone who is confident. This helps to align your identity with the state you want to achieve. The words I am are more than just words. They are powerful affirmations. They represent your sense of self and your existence. Think of them as a way of setting your own reality. When you say I am, you're not just talking about yourself. You're also sending a message to the universe and to your subconscious mind. This message is about who you are and who you want to be. By using I am, you are tapping into a deep, fundamental aspect of your identity. These words help to create a sense of self and align your actions with your goals. For example, if you want to be more successful, saying I am successful helps to reinforce that idea in your mind. It's like drawing a clear picture of what success looks like for you and then stepping into that picture as if it's already your reality. The impact of I am goes beyond just personal affirmations. These words resonate with the quantum field, which is the field of infinite possibilities that exists around us. The quantum field responds to the energy and vibrations we put out. When you say I am, you're sending out a vibration that aligns with your desired state. This can help to attract opportunities, people, and situations that match that vibration. For example, if you constantly tell yourself, I am healthy, you're not just repeating a phrase, you're aligning your mind and body with the state of health. Your subconscious mind starts to believe this statement, and as a result, you may find yourself making healthier choices and feeling better overall. This alignment helps you to manifest the reality you desire. It's also important to note that the words I am are not just about positive affirmations. They are about owning and embracing your current state as well. If you say, I am struggling, you're acknowledging your current reality. While it's important to recognize where you are, it's equally important to use I am to shift towards where you want to be. By changing your statements to I am thriving or I am overcoming challenges, you start to change your perception and open yourself up to new possibilities. The key to using I am effectively is to make sure your statements are in alignment with your true desires and values. Be mindful of the words you choose and ensure they reflect the reality you want to create. When you say I am, make sure it's a statement that truly resonates with you and aligns with your goals. This alignment helps to reinforce your identity and supports your journey towards achieving your dreams. So how do you use these two words to get what you visualize? The process involves more than just saying I am and expecting immediate results. It's about deeply embedding these words into your subconscious mind and integrating them into your daily life. Let me break it down for you. First, begin with a clear intention. What is it that you want to achieve or experience? Be specific about your goal. Is it a new job, improved health, or a loving relationship? Once you have clarity, use the words I am to frame your visualization. For instance, if you desire a new job, you might visualize yourself in that role and then affirm, I am successful in my new job. The power of these words comes from their ability to create a sense of immediacy and presence. When you say I am, you're not just hoping for something to happen in the future, you're affirming that it is happening now. This shift in perception is crucial because it helps to align your energy with your desired outcome. Instead of waiting for a future event, you're living it in the present moment. Next, immerse yourself in the feeling associated with your visualization. Feel the excitement, joy, and gratitude as if your goal has already been achieved. This emotional charge is what gives your intention the energy it needs to manifest. The emotion you feel is the frequency that your body sends out to the quantum field. When you combine this elevated emotion with a clear intention, you create a powerful magnetic field that attracts your desired outcome. It's important to practice this regularly. Consistency is key to reprogramming your subconscious mind and maintaining a high vibrational state. Incorporate I am affirmations into your daily routine. Repeat them during meditation, while visualizing, or even as you go about your day. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more your brain starts to accept them as reality. This process helps to dissolve any limiting beliefs or old patterns that might be holding you back. Now let's talk about the quantum field. The quantum field is a realm of infinite possibilities. Everything you want already exists in this field, waiting for you to tap into it. The key is to align your energy with the frequency of your desired outcome. When you do this, you create a vibrational match between yourself and your goal. This is when you start to see miracles happen. The two words I am act as a bridge between your current reality and the reality you want to create. They help you step into the feeling of already having achieved your goal. By doing this, you start to attract experiences and opportunities that align with your new reality. It's like shifting from one radio station to another. Once you're on the right frequency, the music starts playing. Let's use an example to illustrate this. Imagine you're aiming for better health. You could visualize yourself as vibrant and energetic. Then use the words, I am healthy and strong. As you repeat this affirmation, focus on how it feels to be healthy. Imagine the activities you can do, the energy you have, and the sense of well-being. This practice creates a vibrational match with the state of being healthy. Over time, this alignment will bring changes in your life that reflect your new state of health. One important part of transforming yourself is overcoming the old self. The old self is the part of you that is stuck in past habits, old patterns, and limiting beliefs. This is the version of you that might be holding you back from reaching your full potential. To truly change and grow, you need to let go of these old ways of thinking and embrace a new version of yourself. The old self is often shaped by past experiences and negative beliefs. For example, if you've always believed that you're not good enough or that you can't succeed, those beliefs can keep you from moving forward. These old beliefs might have been formed from past failures or from messages you've heard from others. They become a part of your identity, influencing how you see yourself and how you act. To make a real change, you need to overcome these outdated beliefs and habits. It's like shedding an old skin to make way for a new one. You have to be willing to let go of who you were and start becoming who you want to be. This isn't always easy because it requires you to face and release parts of yourself that you've held on to for a long time. The two words I am are a powerful tool for this transformation. They help you move from the old self to the new self. When you use I am, you are making a statement about who you are now and who you want to become. For example, if your old self believes that you are unworthy or incapable, using I am can help you change that belief. By saying I am successful, you start to align yourself with the idea of success. You are declaring that success is not just something you want, but something you are becoming. This shift in your self-talk helps to rewire your brain and change the way you think about yourself. It allows you to step into your new identity and live as if your goals have already been achieved. The quantum model of reality tells us that all possibilities exist in the present moment. By using I am affirmations, you're accessing these possibilities and bringing them into your reality. This is why it's so important to practice with intention and feeling. The more you align with your desired outcome, the more you will start to see changes in your life. The simplicity of using 2 words, I am, belies the profound impact they can have on your life. By integrating these words into your visualization practice, you create a powerful connection between your intentions and the quantum field. This connection allows you to draw your desires into your reality with greater ease and speed. So, choose a goal or a desire and use the words I am to affirm it. Visualize it, feel it, and repeat it regularly. The power of these 2 words, combined with the clarity of your intention and the intensity of your emotion, will help you manifest your dreams and transform your life. Programmed we really are. And that's bothered me ever since I wrote the book, because people watch things in their external environment and they accept, believe, and surrender to that information without any analysis, and they're programmed. And so when you and I start waking up and say no to those programs, and we start to think that we're maybe a little bit more unlimited than we're given credit for, and it's not driven for profits or self-interest, but when people start to wake up and say, hey, I healed myself of this condition, I healed myself of Parkinson's, I healed myself of lupus, I healed myself of cancer, I healed myself of rheumatoid arthritis, I've healed myself of chronic pain, I healed myself of food allergies. Hey, yeah, I was abused as a child. Yeah, that's right, I was beat up by a violent father, and I lived in vulnerability and fear for the last 25 years. But that fear has signaled the wrong gene, and I developed this genetic condition. It's not enough to just have a clear intention, because clear intentions have very little effect on the nature of reality. Most people don't know that they're moving in and out of the quantum field 7.8 times per second, that you're vibrating in and out of the field all the time, and every time you leave, you disappear, and when you come back, you disappear into that field of information, and you come back with information. But if you go out as the same person, you don't bring any new information back. Are you with me? If you look at quantum physics, the physics of possibility, it's really talking about the spiritual aspect of ourselves, because you couldn't explain a miracle, you couldn't explain a biological process, you couldn't explain a simple healing of a cut at this point without understanding the quantum model of reality, and that there are particles, which are matter. It's you and I and everything in this physical world. And then there's energy, and that energy has a consciousness, it has an awareness, and that energy is a field of information that we are an extension of, that we have access to, and that we spend so much of our life looking outside of ourselves instead of looking inside of ourselves, and that we are really conditioned to look just for particles and matter instead of energy and information. And truly, when people reach the end of their beliefs or they're facing crisis in their life, that's the moment they start to turn within and start to ask the bigger questions. And if you were astute enough to look at this in moments of contemplation, if you were wanting to hide God anywhere, it would be a good place to hide. It would be within the human being, because everybody's looking outside of themselves, and we look for reasons to change and regulate our emotional states. We think that things and people and external things will really fulfill emotions that we're trying to change within us, and that truly when we start to really investigate who we are and look to see how we do that and demystify it, I think once we start to demystify it, it can become a skill. And so Einstein was a super cool guy because he spent a lot of time inward, and at 12 years old, he asked himself this simple question: if I ride my bicycle at the speed of light and I turn my lamp on, I turn my headlight on, will it go on? So he thought about that question every single day of his life. Every day of his life, he would go out in a boat on a lake as a child and lay on his back in the boat and look up at the sky and think about this. and he was building models of understanding. He was working his best to be able to figure out how light and energy were related. He did it for 10 years. He was possessed by the concept. And finally, he was working as a third-rate clerk in a Swiss patent office, and he was watching this man fix the roof across the way. And he just paused for a moment, and he was watching him, and the moment he was watching him, he got this incredible vision, and he understood how light and energy were related. It was a very abstract vision, and it was so abstract and so dimensional that he had to go back to school to learn the mathematics to be able to explain what he saw. And so it became very interesting because when Einstein published his papers on relativity, he didn't say like, hey, this person said this and this person said this, and I'm going to footnote this person. He just said, ladies and gentlemen, this is how it is. And it rocked the scientific community because he didn't really need anybody else as a reference. He had a discovery. And his discovery was so unique, and his brain really was wired for the understanding of light, and light was the ceiling of this reality. And so Einstein and Planck started doing these really interesting experiments where they were taking energy and they were putting energetic impulses into metals. And what they were looking to see is if electrons behave the same way as the very large. In other words, when an apple falls from the tree, it falls in a very specific way. It falls towards the center. It falls towards the larger body. So he reasoned, well, if we disturb electrons, and him and Planck were doing these experiments, if we disturb these electrons, then they should fall just like an apple falling from the tree towards the nucleus. It should be predictable just like it's predictable in Newtonian physics and classical physics. Well, when they started disturbing the electrons, something very unusual happened. The electron gained energy, then it lost energy, and it gained energy and it lost energy. And it gained energy, and it lost energy. And instead of it falling like a ball rolling down a hill, it was like a ball rolling down steps. All of a sudden, they became very aware that the subatomic world, the very tiny, didn't behave like the very large world. And so then they started to look for the electron. They started to try to measure it, and everywhere they looked for it, it appeared. And when they turned their back on it, and they no longer looked to measure it, it went from a particle that collapsed, called collapsing the wave function, back into energy. Now, this was a revolutionary moment because this meant that subjective mind, your mind has an effect on the objective world. That mind and matter are somehow correlated. And so this birth of quantum physics came along. And this quantum physics experiments say that you cannot do a quantum physics experiment without an observer around. In other words, a mind always has to be present because it will influence the outcome. You with me? So now that invisible field of spirit, that invisible field of information and energy, somehow you as an individual can influence the nature of reality with your mind. So now Einstein had a lot of trouble with this because he said God doesn't play dice and it doesn't work like this, but his brain was wired for light. And so he had the abstraction and he was getting the download of information, understanding the field of light. And the quantum physicists were saying, well, actually, there's a field of information beyond space and time, beyond light, where everything is unified. You can take two photons that have been somehow related in a specific atom and shoot them to the opposite ends of the universe. And the moment you affect one photon at the exact same time, the other one is affected. So they were being connected or affected in a realm faster than the speed of light. In other words, it would take time if you affected one for the other one to be affected. But if they were beginning to be affected at the exact same time, they were connected in a realm beyond physical reality. Are you with me? And so when the movie What the Bleep came out, and we basically made an effort to show that your mind has an effect on reality, and that in order for you to begin to change your reality, you got to change your mind and change the way you live your life. and we wanted people to become inspired by the process of creation, really give it a shot. And that independent of your gender, of your race, of the color of your skin, of your intellectual ability, independent of your past, independent of your age, that on some level we are all divine creators, and that these models of reality that have separated individuals have all been built on human beings living in a very limited state of mind. And so when quantum physics was born and the whole concept of reality began to unfold, people started to really challenge the nature of reality and that concept that you are somehow connected because you are made of photons and atoms and electrons, that on some level you are an organization, a community of 70 trillion to 120 trillion cells, and all of those cells are made up of atoms and molecules and chemicals. And all of those are working in a coherent form to express yourself as a physical body. Some of the research shows that, 90% of the thoughts that we think on a daily basis are the same thoughts as the day before. So if you think that your thoughts have something to do with your destiny, and 90% of your thoughts are the same known thoughts that you're always thinking, then your life should stay the same. Because the same thoughts lead to the same choices. The same choices lead to the same behaviors. Same behaviors create the same experiences. The same experiences produce the same emotions. Those same emotions tend to influence the way we think. And our biology, our neurocircuitry, our neurochemistry, our hormones, and even our gene expression is equal to how we think, how we act, and how we feel. And how you think, how you act, and how you feel is called your personality. And your personality creates your personal reality. That's it. So then it makes sense then. If you want to create a new personal reality, a new life, you're going to have to change your personality. And you've got to start thinking about what you've been thinking about and change it. You've got to become aware of your unconscious habits and behaviors, even how you speak. Then you have to look at the emotions that you live by every single day and decide, do these emotions belong in my future? So many people try to create a new life as the same person. In order to create a new personal reality, you've got to change your personality. So the principle in neuroscience says that nerve cells that fire together wire together. Thinking the same way, making the same choices, demonstrating the same actions, creating the same experiences that stamp the same networks of neurons into the same patterns, all for the familiar feeling called you. And you do that for 10 years in a row. You're going to hardwire your brain into a very finite signature because you're firing and wiring that way. And that box in the brain, that becomes our personality, becomes our identity. And by the time we're 35 years old, for the most part, we've done something so many times that the body now knows how to do it as well as the mind. And that's a habit. So we have these unconscious programs of behaviors, automatic habits, redundant emotional reactions, hardwired beliefs, perceptions, attitudes that function just like a computer program. You press go and it runs automatically. So then when it comes time to change, thinking positively is going to do nothing because your body has been conditioned for the most part into a program in the past. So the thought never makes it to the body because the body's on a different program. So how do we begin to influence the body so that the thought actually produces some type of change? So think about it. If you think an unhappy thought, you're going to feel unhappy. If you think you're a failure, you're going to feel like a failure. Once you feel like a failure, you're going to think you're a failure. And people get caught in these loops of thinking and feeling and feeling and thinking. And that redundancy is a conditioning process because all you need is an image or a picture or a thought and a feeling, a response, stimulus response. And so the people tend to condition their brain and body into the past. And so when it comes time to change, you got to leave that familiar territory. And any choice that you make, if you said, hey, I'm going to eat a better diet, I'm going to wake up early and work out. I'm going to do meditation. The moment you decide to do something differently, get ready, because it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel unfamiliar. There's going to be some uncertainty. You're not going to be able to predict the next moment. That means you've left your known biology and you're stepping into the unknown. Now, theoretically, that sounds great, but if the body has been conditioned into a familiar feeling, it's in the known. The moment you take it outside the familiarity, it wants to go back to where it's comfortable. So the body starts influencing the mind. And this is where people say, I want you to start your diet tomorrow. Oh, why don't you start working out this evening? You're really never going to change. You're too tired. You have a headache. This doesn't feel right. And this is where people talk themselves out of it. Because if they respond to that thought leads to the same choice, which leads to the same behavior, creates the same experience, produces the same feeling. And then they say, this feels right? No, that feels familiar. So going from one state of mind and body to another state of mind and body, you got to cross a river. And the hardest part about change is not making the same choice as you did the day before. Now, once people understand that they're going to be uncomfortable, then the question is, what thoughts do you want to fire and wire in your brain? What behaviors will you demonstrate in one day? And the act of closing your eyes and rehearsing who you're going to be when you open your eyes begins to install neurological hardware in your brain to look like you've already done it. Now the brain, which is typically a record of the past, now becomes a map to the future. And if you keep doing it, the hardware begins to become a software program. And you start behaving differently. And then if you can teach your body emotionally what the future will feel like, that means then you're not going to wait for your wealth to feel abundant or your success to feel empowered or your new relationship to feel love. In fact, the moment you start feeling abundant, you're generating wealth.